Hello everyone, welcome to What If Issei Was Neglected and Becomes the God of Creation and Destruction Part 3. Before we start, please go support Ethan 1939 for writing that awesome fanfic. Now let's begin. This is the translated version I made. There will be some wrong he or she calling here because it's translated, so let me clear this. Issei is a male in this story. Part 10, Pool and Calm Before the Storm. Since the confrontation between Diodora and the Gremory family, Issei has become more attached to Asia and has even become a little more attached to girls. After several days, the sports festival was also held in which Issei and Asia won the three-legged race, and Asia was very happy, and Issei was only happy to see Asia happy. Now we can see an Issei unwilling to clean a pool with the girls from the occult club and his friends. Issei. I don't want to while he was being dragged by Kaneko. Rias. Issei, stop behaving like a child. This is something the president asked us, looking at Issei. Issei. You will tell you, they put me in because they wanted to. Somewhat annoying. Izara. Come on Oni-chan, you don't want to see us in swimsuits with a blush and a smile. Issei. The truth is no, without interest, I just want to go home. Irina. Come on, Issei-kun, we'll have fun and you'll be able to see us, and we'll see you shirtless and smoking out of your ears and blushing. Zenobia. Irina, calm down, seeing her friend. Rias. Come on, it will be fun, with a smile. Issei. I think your definition of fun is very different from mine, looking at the redeed. You. Stop complaining, you're not the only one who doesn't want to be here. Annoyed. Asper. A swimming pool where I can wear a cute swimsuit. Excited. Kaneko. Come on Issei-kun, help you. Yes, with a tender look. Asia. Yes, you can ride. Issei-san, looking at Issei with a tender and happy look. Issei just succumbed to the tender gaze of both of them and resigned himself. Issei. Yes, I will help you. Well, the more people the faster we finish it, right? Asia. Yes, happy. Akeno. Yes, you are right. Issei-kun, with a somewhat malicious smile, and you will also see our outfits, right girls? All. Hi. Issei. This job will be hard, with a drop behind the neck. Time skip. After changing, we can see the boys with blue shorts, a white jacket by Issei, and Gasper with a girl's swimsuit with a float. Issei. Gasper, why are you dressed like that? Gasper. Why doesn't it look pretty on me? You. It doesn't mean that, but forget it. After a few minutes we can see all the girls in beautiful swimsuits. Rias. Hello Issei, how do we see each other? Irina. Yes Issei-kun, how do I look? Izara. Oni-chan, how do I look? Blushing. Became. I look great, don't I? Oni-chan, modeling her swimsuit. Sarah. Yes, but I look better. Yuri. How do I look? Issei. The girls could only see Issei for the first time blushing before them, and they knew that they had achieved their goal. Issei. Well, let's finish this quickly. Okay, somewhat blushing and trying not to see the girls. All the girls, seeing that blush on his face, just smiled in victory and went to clean the pool. Time skip. The boys only cleaned the pool under a scorching sun, and for Issei it was hell since he didn't like the sun very much, and the girls cleaned in their swimsuits and the sweat ran down their statuesque bodies, and Issei just tried to ignore that. Issei. Come on Issei, you are a strong man, don't get carried away by this, you are much stronger. Yui. Master wants us to help him by putting on matching swimsuits, mentally speaking. Lin. Yes, swimsuits. Issei. Please no. Rias. Guys, I think we need more chlorine. Issei, can you go look for it? Issei. Yes, let us, but someone was secretly following him without anyone noticing. Issei only entered a room with pool things and some instruments to clean. Issei saw the bleach quickly, but someone pushed him and tied his hands in a closet. Issei. What the, he couldn't finish since a blue-haired girl kissed him and began to take off his jacket. Zenobia. Don't move, this will be quick. It would be, but with a blush. Issei. Zenobia, what are you doing? Somewhat scared and blushing at having the girl's breasts close to her face. Zenobia. It's not obvious, I'm going to make you mine now and you'll give me strong children, but don't worry, I know it's the first time for both of us, so I'll be gentle. Issei. I already told you that I will only have children with the person I loved. Zenobia. So you don't like me? Sad. Issei. It's not that, it's just that I well nervous. Zenobia. Then if you really love me, have children with me. While he kissed the boy again, and he let himself go. Issei. Should my brain disconnects and my mind goes blank. Zenobia only began to float her breasts on Issei's body and had taken off her bra, but before they could continue the door exploded and revealed the other girls with a terrifying aura and a look that demanded blood. Rias. Zenobia, what are you doing? With a twitch in her eye and looking irritated at her friend. Zenobia. I'm just trying to be intimate with Issei-kun, hugging the boy and putting her bare breasts in his face. Izara. Yes, it seems that you are trying to gape him with a terrifying aura. Issei just choked on the girl's breasts while they fought. Time skip. After a small argument between the girls and Issei could breathe again, the boys just continued cleaning the pool, but the girls couldn't stop seeing Issei since Zenobia, trying to seduce Issei, managed to take off his jacket and now she could see his body. well marked with the occasional scar that made him look more attractive and made the girls blush and runny noses. Time skip next day. We can see Issei in the music club which the albino liked to visit to relax and sing a song or two. Issei just grabbed a guitar and started playing. Issei alone at the end of the song just looked at the ground trying to reflect on his feelings and the girls, although he knew that maybe they wouldn't fool him, he still had that fear in his head that they would play with him again, with his feelings. But he was taken out of his thoughts by a black-haired woman with glasses. Sona. Do you know why you don't sing something happier? Issei. Sona. Why don't you sing something more cheerful, maybe it will cheer you up while I was looking at him. Issei. Do you believe it? Sona. Maybe sitting in front I can hear you. Issei. Okay. Issei just sat at the piano and started playing a somewhat romantic song. When the song finished he could only see a blushing Sona in front of him and many blushing girls at the door of the club and some couples who just stayed hugging while he listened to the song. Sona just stood up and hugged Issei while she was blushing. Sona. It was a beautiful song. Blushing. Issei. Thank you. While he accepted the hug, but I think it attracted a lot of attention looking at the others who were following them, but they just hid or moved away from the place. After a while he just started talking to Sona about some things until he rang the bell starting classes again. Time skip. The classes passed normally and the days passed normally. Some girls saw the albino with a blush because they already knew about his harmonious voice and others because of how cute he looked, but a certain girl with brown hair tried to find the courage to do something. Murayama. Hello Issei-san, can I talk to you for a moment? Nervous and blushing. Issei. Sure. Murayama. Behind the school. Blushing, please don't miss it. Issei. Okay. That seemed strange to Issei, but some girls in the occult club already knew or had a suspicion of what it could be. Time skip. Issei was in front of Murayama and she was very blushing, but some girls were hiding in some bushes. Rias. The girls were right looking at the girl. She wants to confess to him, angry at what she saw. Bizarra. That bitch, and I saw her as a friend of hers. Zenovia. Don't you want to remove them? Arena. The safest thing, that's why we have to prevent that from happening. Seeing both. Kaneko. Bad Issei-kun. With Issei. The boy was a little nervous but kept calm, and some girls' necklaces were killing the girl in front of him. Issei. Well, so you called me? Murayama-san, somewhat nervous and seeing the terrifying aura that came from the bushes. Murayama. I want to thank you. Bowing. Issei. Why? Confused. Murayama. Because a long time ago you saved me even though some girls from the kendo club hit you and I didn't do anything to stop them. Somewhat sad, that's why I thank you and I would like to make it up to you. Blushing. Issei. No need, I did it because it was the right thing to do and I couldn't let you die unless you have to think about it. Murayama. But I want to thank you. Blushing. How about a whispering date? It's words alone that make the girl's terrifying aura intensify. Issei. Date. Confused. Murayama. Yes, a date. Blushing, but only as friends. Yes. Issei. Well, I don't see why not, it seems fine to me, he said innocently. Murayama. Well, I'll see you on Saturday downtown at 1 in the afternoon, okay? Issei. If there's no problem, we'll see you there. Murayama. Well, goodbye. Leaving the place like lightning. Issei only thought about the date he would have, but the girls from the occult club came out of the bushes with a terrifying aura. Issei. Hello girls, what's going on? They only approached a boy with lowered gaze and a terrifying aura. Rias. Issei taking him by the neck and putting him against the wall. I forbid you to go to that date. Issei. What? Akeno. Ara, it seems like we have to punish Ice-kun with a sadistic smile and some lightning bolts appearing in his hand. Issei. Why? Bizarra. Because you are Oni-chan with a terrifying smile and we won't let anyone else have you. Asia. Issei-sen is not even fair. Looking at Issei with tears. Kaneko. Bad Issei-kun looking at the albino. Issei. We'll just go as friends. Girl somewhat nervous, can you calm down? Arena. Only if you say that you love us and are ours and ours alone. Issei. I won't say that. Rias. Well, get ready for your punishment for seducing other girls and deceiving us. Issei. He hasn't seduced other girls, much less deceived them. Somewhat tired. Are they going to let me go or not? Zenovia. We already told you that only if you say you love us. Issei just resigned himself and said the magic words. Issei. I love you. Girls slightly blushing but just put a smile on the girls' faces and they let him go. Sarah. You are very cute when you blush. Oni-chan happy became. We love you very much too with a smile. Rias. Well, we'll let you go, but you're not going to do anything, let alone try to seduce Murayama. Okay, it would be. Issei. Okay, I promise not to seduce Murayama or do anything. Happy. Bizarra. Not completely but enough. Time skip. Day of the appointment. We can see Murayama in the middle of the shopping center looking around to find Issei. The girl was wearing a beautiful outfit that made the girl look beautiful to all the men. Murayama. Where is she? She won't come, she stood me up, I don't know what to do. The girl was in her thoughts, but an idiot like him always makes an appearance trying to seduce the girl. Boy. Hello darling, why don't you come with me to play for a while arrogant Murayama. Sorry but I'm waiting for someone. Chico. Don't worry, he won't mind if we go and eat for a while trying to convince the girl. Issei. Hey idiot taking Murayama's hand and hugging it protectively told you to go, she's coming with me. At that moment Issei appeared to save the girl, and Murayama just hugged the boy while he smelled her perfume. The boy just clicked his tongue and left in frustration. Issei. Idiot watching the boy leave, are you okay, Murayama-san? Murayama. Yes, thank you, Ice-kun without realizing the nickname I use for the albino, I don't say blushing. Issei. Don't worry, you can call me whatever you like with a smile. Murayama. Well then call me by my name too, somewhat nervous and blushing. Issei. Good Aki-chan happy. That only made the girl blush to extreme levels, but the girl was able to handle it. Issei. Well let's go. Offering his arm to her. Aki. Good taking Issei's arm. The boys just continued their date under the gaze of some girls who harassed them both. Asia. Rias Onasama, what are we doing spying on Issei-san? Rias. Obviously we see why his date doesn't get out of control. Bizarra. Yes, and don't try to steal Oni-chan from us. With Issei, the couple was seen by everyone and even more by the girls, since Issei was for many the perfect man, because of how he dressed and her smile that made Murayama and all the girls who saw her blush. The boy was envied by the men around him and loved by the girls, but they also hated Murayama for hugging Issei's arm. The boys just ate some cakes from Murayama that she wanted and went to an amusement park to eat ice cream and have fun. It was already night and the couple was just continuing to have fun until Murayama gave an idea. Aki. Ice-kun, how about we go on the Ferris wheel, pointing to a huge Ferris wheel that was in the middle of the park. Issei. Sure said innocently while the other girls who followed them wanted to kill the brunette. The boys were already mounted and could only observe the beautiful view it offered them. Aki. Today was a beautiful day, Ice-kun looking blushing and happy at the boy. Issei. Yes, it was a fun day, somewhat nervous because of the situation I was in. Hey Aki-chan, do I want to ask you something? Aki. And what is it? Nervous. Issei. Why did you like it? Nervous about the answer. Aki. That is a very stupid question. Issei only lowered his head somewhat sadly, not because they rejected him, but because Alan played with his feelings again. Well, of course, idiot. Issei was surprised, but it didn't last long as Murayama started to kiss our protagonist. Issei only accepted the kiss with pleasure, knowing that they had not played with his feelings again, but at that moment he thought of Rias and the others, and separated from the kiss. Issei. Murayama serious, I like you too, you seem like a very pretty girl, but I'm not good for you surprising the girl, I have feelings for other girls, and I'm also. He was stopped by Aki. Aki. I already know that you are a god. Baka surprised Issei and shed some tears. I knew it for a while. I followed you one day to a forest when you changed your appearance months ago, and I saw you training and talking with some swords. That's it, I heard what you are, and I also know that the girls in the occult club are demons when I saw you talking to them crying, and I know that they love you too. But I love you too, so please accept my feelings. Hugging Issei. The boy hated seeing a woman cry and much more if she cried because of her, and he only tried to cheer her up. Issei. Aki looking seriously at the girl. I like you too, you seem like a charming girl, and you are very beautiful, so don't cry. Wiping away her tears, because I love you too, he said without thinking and kissing the girl. They both only joined in a passionate kiss of love, but everything was heard and seen by some furious girls who were together in the back car. Rias. That bitch takes advantage of Issei's weakness, bending the railing, and he knows we're demons. Damn. Bizarra. Oni-chan looking with a dark look at Issei. Liar. After separating from that kiss some girls talked. Yui. Well girl, it seems like you really love my master. Jealous. Aki. Are you Ice-kun swords? Lin. Yes we are, but now please stay away from our masters. Jealous. Not here, don't take me away from Ice-kun, hugging him tightly. That only broke their patience, and taking their human form, they tried to separate the girl from Issei. Time skip. After the girls had calmed down, Issei only took Murayama to her house. Issei. Well, I think it's time for me to go. I think someone isn't happy that I'm here. Looking out the window at Murayama's father. Aki. Thank you for accepting my feelings, Ice-kun. I'm happy and don't worry, just ignore it. Issei. Well, but you'll have to give me a more concrete explanation of how you know my secret, right? Aki. Maybe on another date. Looking into Issei's eyes. Issei. I would like that. Looking into the girl's eyes. They both just had a passionate kiss, but were interrupted by Murayama's father. Murayama's father. Hey idiot, stay away from my daughter. Angry. Issei. Hello sir, I'm just coming to drop off his daughter. Nervous. Aki. Dad, don't call. Ice-kun himself looking badly at her father. Well, goodbye, Ice-kun blushing. Issei. Goodbye Aki-chan, giving him one last kiss and leaving. Murayama only saw Issei leaving and being looked at in a bad way by his father until he arrived at his house. Issei. Today was a long day sitting on his couch, but it was pleasant smiling when remembering the date. At that he was brought out of his thoughts by the sound of the door. Issei. I'm coming. When he opened it he could see each of the girls in his harem angry and with a terrifying aura behind them. Issei. Hello see girls, what are you doing here, nervous and scared? Azara. It looks like you had fun on your date. No, Oni-chan with a terrifying look. Rias. Issei, you will be punished for cheating on your wife with a tender but terrifying smile. Bakeno. Ara Ice-kun is a womanizer and must be punished with a sadistic smile. Kaneko. Liar Issei-kun would be. Asia. It's not fair, looking at him with tears. Issei. Were you girls spying on us? Highly strung. They just nodded. Issei. And also when we go up the Ferris wheel. They nodded. Issei. Well, I am nervous, can I make it up to you? Zenobia. Have children with me. Rias. Give me your first time. Azara. Marry me. Everyone gave their opinion, but Issei did not want to comply. Issei. Well then, goodbye, slipping away. All. Issei, come back here. Art 11 New battle. The day was a nice day, the flowers were Florentine, the birds were singing, but for an albino sitting in the occult club, it was hell, since he had the gaze of each of the girls on him, while Murayama hugged him possessively. Issei. Well girls, please calm down, a little nervous because of the girls' looks. Rias. Well then Murayama, you will explain to us how you know our secrets, with a cold look at the girl. Aki. Well you see. Flash black. Aki. Tell me why you saved me, nervous looking at Issei. Issei. I don't know, my body moved on its own, he said without interest. That answer only surprised the girl and several people who were listening to them. Time skip. You can see that it is raining and Murayama was walking, but she sees Issei in the middle of the rain talking to Yuri, and she quickly hides. Yuri. Please forgive me crying, I want everything to be like before. Issei. You should have thought that before opening your legs to someone else. Yuri. I know you hate me, but she was interrupted by Issei. Issei. No, I don't hate you, making Yuri smile, because hating you means that I still have some feelings for you, and the truth is I no longer feel anything for you, he said coldly and leaving Yuri in the middle of the rain crying. Murayama just watched that scene, having an idea of what perhaps caused a change in Issei, that his girlfriend cheated on him. After that the girl became more curious about the boy, and one day she just followed him without him noticing. Time skip. Issei can be seen in a forest, and Murayama was a little further back hiding behind some trees. Aki. What is hyoudou-san doing here? Looking at the boy, but he started to talk. Issei. Okay, and now what do I do, speaking to the two necklaces on his neck. Aki. He's talking to the necklaces about him? She was confused, but she was surprised to see the necklaces talking. Yui. Just tear us off your neck, master. Murayama was only in his sock when he saw the necklace speak, but she came out quickly as she said what the necklace said, and a mass of darkness covered him, and Issei could be seen with a black suit and two swords. The girl was only surprised until she saw how Issei spoke again, but now with the swords, so it lasted a while where Issei trained for a while, training and learning about his god powers, without realizing that everything was heard and seen by Murayama. Aki. Hyoudou-san is a god. Surprised. Lin. Master, I think I feel a presence. The girl only hid when she said that, but luckily for her a wolf appeared in the direction she was and only walked to where Issei was. The boy didn't move, and the wolf just surrounded him and sniffed him a little until the wolf looked at him and just gave him a small bow and then ran away. Issei. That was weird, looking in the direction where the wolf went. Yui. Not so much now, the aura of angel and demon that he possesses gives him a strong and intimidating presence. Master, I doubt that any animal will attack him. Issei. I understand, well I think it's time to go home. Looking at how it was getting dark, Issei just left the place, and Murayama was just a little more surprised by what she heard, but she took him home. Time skip. Aki. Murayama was only discreetly keeping an eye on Issei when she discovered his secret, but she was surprised to see that his brothers and the occult club were approaching them more often, and it seemed strange to her, and she decided to keep an eye on him more often. Time skip. Now we can see Issei in the occult club. Well, there were a lot of people unknown to Murayama, and they only listened and saw through a small hole in the door. Note. Here Issei explains to the mass and the boys what it is and his new powers. Murayama, knowing better what Issei actually is, his amazement since Issei was now basically a god, but that was over quickly since Issei went to the door somewhat annoyed and with his eyes down, but before he arrived, she just ran away to hide. Time skip. After that revelation he began to watch Issei more often without thinking that as the days went by, he became more fond of Issei, and that affection combined into a latent love in her. She also discovered that the occult club is demon, and that the student council is also demon by seeing and hearing them discuss some particular things. Then flash black. Aki. And that's how I discovered them, nervous because of the stares that intensified. Rias. So you were harassing my eye, said Issei irritated. Aki. Well, that's one way of looking at it. The girls just wanted to gut Murayama, but Issei stopped them. Issei. Girls please calm down, okay? The girls just calmed down and just started asking the girl questions. Izara. And what do you want? I would be. Aki. What do I want? Confused. Became. Don't act innocent, somewhat annoying, you want to take Oni-chan away from us, right? Aki. Sarah. You seduced him when you were on your date and now you want to keep him, right? Miranda to the girl. Aki. And me with Ice-kun blushing, well yes I like him, but I don't want you to hate me, so I'm just asking you to give me permission to be one of his wives, looking a little nervous to the girls. Issei only covered his face, somewhat embarrassed by what he was asking the girls, and the girls only analyzed Muyama's words little by little. Akeno. Ara, do you want to be part of Ice-kun's harem? Aki. Yes I want, determined, as long as I can be with Issei I don't mind sharing. Rias. Well if you put it that way, looking at the girl. Izara. Well, but you will have to show that you really love Oni-chan, seeing it would be Murayama. Aki. If it's to be with Ice-kun, whatever, decided. The girls only began to talk for a while. Kaneko and Lin, as always, ate sweets. Yui argued with Izara and Rias about who Issei loved more, and the others only welcomed Murayama to the occult club and the Issei harem. Time skip. After a few days, Rias reincarnated Aki into a demon, and the girl's sacred gear surprised them, since it was one similar to Yu and Kiba's. Now we can see Issei in her house getting up while he was taking a shower, and when he came out he was only with a towel, and when he went to the living room, he did not notice the presence of supernatural people. Rias. Ice all blushing when she sees Issei's wet body in a towel. The boy turned around and saw the entire occult club, the girls from the student council, Auden, Azazel, Rossweiss, and Valerie's team. Issei. Okay, what are you doing in my house and how did you get in? Looking serious. All the girls had to have a runny nose and a blush, while the men were just shocked to see the girls themselves. Auden. Hello boy with a smile. Issei. Hello Auden, how is life going, returning the greeting. Auden. Not as good as it seems to you. Well, all the girls only saw and analyzed Issei's statuesque body. Azazel. I think you better put on some clothes, boy, this is going to last a while. Time skip. Issei just put on some clothes and the small meeting began. Issei. So this Loki guy wants to start a war? Auden. Yes, sad. Issei. And are you going to tell me why one of your children wants to start a war? Auden. I really don't know, Loki has always been complicated, sad, when remembering the change in his son. Before there was no harm in his heart, but he had an argument with my other son Thor and well. Issei. I understand, and why are they here seeing Valerie and his group? Kuroka. What? Nio, are you happy to see us? With a smile. Issei. Not after you tried to kidnap Kaneko, serious. Valerie. Don't worry, love, by saying that I only get a tick out of each of the girls, we are here to help. Azazel. Apparently Loki tried to make an attempt on Auden-sama's life without the help of Chaos Brigade, apparently he scammed them, and now he is independent. Issei. Haha, I really deceived you, looking at Valerie's group, what a surprise, making deals with a god of deception. Auden. It seems like he wants to cause Ragnarok, serious. Iku. Yes, and it seems that he tried to eliminate us later since we got in the way of his plan, serious. Issei. And they are here to help eliminate it, looking at Biku. Iku. Basically. Auden. Yes, but just stop him, I don't want him dead, he's still my son. Issei just saw Auden and smiled at what he said. Issei. Well, I won't kill him just because you still consider him your son. Auden with a smile. Auden. Thanks boy. Azazel. Well, we'll just have to get ready now, and here handing a small box to Issei. Issei. And this? Opening the box, seeing that it was a cake, you wouldn't have bothered, looking mockingly at Azazel. Azazel. It's not mine, idiot, it's Ravel Phoenix's, it seems he has you in very high esteem, trying not to laugh, and it seems like he likes you, holding out laughing. Issei's girls just stared coldly at Issei as he held the box in his hand. Issei. I see, taking out the cake, well, it would be rude not to accept the gift, taking a cutlery to eat it, well, thank you for the food, tasting the cake, it's very good. The others just succumbed to the aroma and good presentation of the cake, and everyone took a piece. Hanako was sitting on Issei's lap while she looked challengingly at her sister, the girls, and the others just enjoyed the cake without accepting that it was delicious and just saying that it was okay. Azazel. Issei, we also wanted to talk about the transformation you had when fighting Diodorus, serious. Issei. You talk about my Knight of Destruction form. Azazel. Should you call him? Issei. Yes, Yui and Lin told me that it's the way when I got carried away by anger and hatred and used all the power of the Demon King, looking at both girls eating next to him. It's like the full version of my powers, I only use it in crucial moments, but that time I used it letting myself be carried away by hatred. Auden. We understand, but then you must have a similar shape in your angel form, right? Issei. Yes, I have it, but I have to train to be able to control them. Auden. Well, now we will all go to Hasgard. All? Hi, I'm Skip. You can see everyone in a huge mansion and the boys were in a small forge where a weapon was made to face Loki in battle. Odin. Well, I asked the dwarves to forge this weapon from the same materials as the original. Odin gave Issei a hammer just like Thor's, but Issei disliked it a little. Issei. What is this? Odin. It is a replica of Mjolnir, Thor's hammer with pride in his words. Issei just took it and started moving it around a little. Issei. Tell me, can it do the same as the original? Odin. No, I'm sorry, it can't, but I asked my sorcerers to have the power to seal Loki. Issei. Perfect. It just confused everyone, but they saw Issei cover the hammer in black fire, and when he squeezed it, he broke it into pieces. Odin. What did you do? Astonished and in shock when he saw the hammer shatter. That hammer is made of the same material as the original Mjolnir, it is indestructible. Everyone else was just in shock. Issei. For me nothing is invisible or indestructible, and also only the best. Issei only covered the pieces of the hammer that were on the ground in white fire, and little by little, it formed a new weapon, and when the fire disappeared, everyone saw a two-barreled revolver with a blue rose on it. Everyone was amazed and Issei just took the weapon and started moving it. Issei. Fine, I'll call you Blue Rose. Issei saw a practice dummy, and when he shot, the shape of the rose on it began to glow and charged with lightning, 2 bullets came out of it and easily pierced the dummy. Everyone was already surprised and could only admire the boy's creation. Odin. What did you do? Issei. Just change the shape and take the minerals that the old hammer had. While he was still looking at the weapon, he named it Blue Rose. Odin and the mass were surprised and the others only a little, but they were already used to Issei surprising them. Time skip. On that same night the mass covered the city with a magic circle to protect the city, and the others were waiting in front waiting for the enemy to appear. Azazel. It's cold, but it's summer. Odin. They haven't arrived yet. Sirius. Through a mountain you could see an ice giant a little bigger than Tannen. Michael. Damn, the enemies of the Husgardians are to be feared. Looking at the huge giant. Odin. Jojoho, calm down, they are strong, but dumb as a rock, don't let them be intimidated. 4 more giants appeared from the mountain and could only make everyone nervous, but Issei stood in front of everyone. Issei. Lin, can you take care of them? Lin. Of course I do, love. A sword turned into a kind of white flowers that transformed into a mass of white thorns that attacked and cut the giants, surprising everyone. Issei. Well, Odin and the mass attacked the giants. We go for Loki running to the direction where he felt Loki. The others only followed them, and the mass only began to attack the giants a little more confidently as they saw how they bled to death from the number of cuts that Lin caused them. With Issei, they only entered the forest where Loki was and saw in the distance how the giants fell dead. Well, they saw how a sword made of thorns killed them. Issei. It seems like Lin is having fun looking at the giants. Yui. Master, I feel someone's presence. The boys advanced a little further and saw Loki standing on a mountain watching the spectacle. Roswis. Loki-sama, under the power of Odin-sama, you are arrested on charges of treason and attempting against the life of the Supreme Father. Loki. All looking at the boys. So my father sent his dogs to stop me, well, because I will kill them all for messing with a god like he couldn't finish, because he felt something go through his shoulder. Ahu. At that point he looked at Issei, who had fired a bullet at Loki. Issei. I'm sorry, idiot, but you talk too much with his new weapon which smoked from its barrel due to the shot. Loki. You furious, who the hell are you? How dare you hurt me? Issei. You say you are a god, because in front of you is another god. Well, he walked and stood in front of Loki. Loki. You are the hybrid that appeared at the banquet of the fractions. Angry, they knew that one day they would have to kill you. Issei. Well, try if you can, idiot. In the blink of an eye, Issei hit Loki in the face, sending him flying towards a mountain. Loki just stood up and saw that blow broke his nose, and that made him angry. Loki. Damn, launching a magic attack at the boys, but Issei formed a shadow barrier that protected them. Loki. It looks like they can withstand a magic attack. Glaring at Issei. Rias. Rend us, Loki, and we will have mercy on you. Loki. Don't make me laugh, I will never give up for trash like you. The god just snapped his fingers, and 3 giant dogs appeared. Roswis. Fenrir, Skoll and Hati preparing to fight. Be careful, their bites can kill a god. Issei. Well, god of deception, let's see what you can do. Snapping his fingers, and 3 copies of the shadow wolves appeared next to Issei. Valerie. This got interesting. Excited. Greg. Be careful, companion, those are offspring of Nidgur, it is a very powerful dragon. Azara. Danger. Yui. You are right, master, before they only ate corpses, but their gluttony overcame them, and then they dedicated themselves to killing some gods, and by killing them and consuming their blood, they increased their powers, and now they are at the level of a god. Issei. Thanks for the information, Azara. Valerie, can you take care of him? Both. Hi. Both dragons were in charge of the enemy dragon with their armor, part of the occult club, and the council were in charge of the children of Fenrir, and the leaders of the retinues were in charge of the father, along with the copies made of shadows made by Issei. Loki. This is getting interesting, snapping his fingers, making a 6-meter giant come out with a huge axe made of ice. Issei. You're going to die, idiot. The giant raised his axe to attack Issei, but a sword made of white spikes pierced his chest, killing him. Issei. Thank you, Lin. Looking at how the white sword formed in his left hand. How are the others? Lin. There are only 2 giants left and they can take care of them. Issei. Well done, now only this idiot remains. Looking at Loki. Loki just got angry and 4 more giants appeared and the 3 just went to attack Issei, but 2 girls in armor hit 2 of the giants. Bizarra. Don't mess with my Oni-chan, hitting one of the giants. Valerie. Don't mess with my husband, hitting another giant. Loki saw how his dragon was dead on the ground, full of bruises and burns, and he saw the head of a giant exploded into thousands of pieces, and Loki saw Issei with a revolver loaded with lightning bolts. But in a moment the giant 4 hit Issei with the handle of his axe, making Issei crash into a mountain. Tiba. There is our salvation. Seeing Issei embedded in a mountain, but saw how he quickly moved and with one slash cut the giant that hit him in half. Forget it. Loki. Because you damn scumbags don't die angry. And another side. Thor can be seen fighting with a huge snake. Thor. Die, damn snake. Hit the snake, making it join together in the sea. Thor. Come on, come here. The serpent just came out of the sea and went to attack the god. With Issei. Issei. Well, idiot, let's see what a god like you can do, covering his body with black and white flames that intimidated the god of deception. Kaneko. Issei-kun got upset seeing the albino. Issei only started slashing some ice wolves and shooting with blue rose, but he saw how the weapon had a limit. Issei. Shit, seeing how the gun smoked out of it, apparently it has a limit. I need the original, raising his right hand. Zenobia. Issei, I don't think that's it. He didn't finish because he heard an explosion and at one point saw a hammer in his hand. That's rias. The real Mjolnir. Surprised. Loki. Impossible, only a god can hold her. Looking angrily at Issei. Issei just smashed the hammer like before and began to join the pieces to the revolver, and as he did so the revolver with a blue light only began to fire, but each shot was more powerful and made an enemy fall by lightning. Rias. Thor won't like this, attacking the ice wolves. You. Just focus on the battle, but you cutting another wolf in half. Tiba. I hope you don't mind seeing us tell you. Kuroka. Naya apparently is a god. Looking at the boy with interest. Arthur. Is that true? This is becoming more and more our favorite. Roswis. He can use all of Thor Sama's power on that weapon now. What is he? Change of scene. Azazel. How are the others doing? Well, they were cornered by trolls and some enemy demons and fallen angels. At that, a huge lightning bolt pierces the body of a frost giant and also exterminates a portion of his enemies. Odin. I think good. Surziches. Now attack with everything. With Issei. The albino can be seen masterfully shooting at enemies and cutting in half some giants that Loki summoned into the fight. Asper. Issei-senpai is amazing. Looking at Issei with admiration. You. I don't think you should follow his example while watching a giant shadow wolf helping defeat the few remaining ice wolves, although I admit that he is very good in battle. Tiba. It's Issei that you expected. Kuroka. Now that I see him well, he is very strong and handsome with heart-shaped eyes. Iku. Kuroka, now is not a good time to giant at that. Arthur. Focus. Fenrir's children had already died and only the father remained. Saji. I wanted to distract him so he can absorb the power from him. Tiba. I can't. If I do it he kills me. Dodging the wolf's bites. In a moment 3 single shadow wolves began to bite and tear Fenrir to death. Saji. Well, problem solved. Tiba. It almost killed me. Breathing somewhat heavily, but now only Loki remains. Issei at one point began to shoot at the god of deception, but upon seeing his imminent defeat, he only decided to escape. Loki. Damn, transforming into a crow to try to escape. Issei. No, you won't. Issei took out his wings and in a blink he just stepped on the crow's face, sending him to the ground. You. Do you think I killed him? Tiba. 50/50ths. Issei only saw Loki on the ground dragging himself to escape. End music. But the leaders, sensing Issei's power, the shipments of him alone fled and others disintegrated. Odin. It seems the boy got serious. After a while the faction leaders and Odin could see Loki on the ground all beaten and tied next to Issei, who was using his face to put his feet on. Odin. It seems that they managed to defeat him, but in that he felt the power of the revolver and it was equal to Thor's weight for the revolver. Issei. I used the origin hammer and united it with blue rose, now it has no limiter. Odin and the others were only in socks. Odin. How did he explain this to Thor, rubbing his head? But then, among the trees, a blonde could be seen with many scratches. Thor. Who took away my hammer? Dying. Issei. Damn, using his white fire to heal the god. Okay. Thor. If nothing happens, charismatic, I've been through worse things, but what about my hammer? Everyone was nervous, but Issei responded quickly. Issei. I'm sorry Mr. Thor, but I destroyed his hammer to remove the limits of my new weapon and I joined the pieces to it as well. Thor, upon hearing that, only saw the boy's weapon with curiosity but somewhat annoyed because he liked his hammer. Or, well, the least you can do is give me that weapon, right? Issei. Nor do I think it is recommended. Or, nonsense trying to lift the revolver, but the revolver fell to the ground, crushing his fingers. I, my fingers, take it off, take it off. Issei just raised his revolver, freeing the god's fingers. Or, what the hell is that thing rubbing his fingers? Yui. Master apparently chose its new owner, no one, but you can use it or lift it. The god just became depressed and in a fetal position he cried in a corner in the forest saying, my hammer. Auden. He took it better than I thought, seeing his son. Well, let's go before something else happens. Azazel. And Valerie. Everyone looked for the albino and her group, but they had disappeared. Azazel. That brat. But Valerie and his group. Valerie. Well, at least we got rid of Loki's hindrance, but we have to be careful, the boy is getting stronger every day. Kuroka. Yes, Naya with a blush when thinking about Issei. Iku. Well, we have news from Cao Cao, apparently he doesn't mind us going off on our own, as long as we stay out of his business. Valerie. Well, one less thing to worry about. Well, I'm going to my room. Arthur. You're not going to see that photo of the boy that you secretly took, are you? Valerie. Shut up, Arthur, leaving the place blushing. Part 12. Our first time. We can see Issei looking at a gigantic mansion in front of him with a somewhat irritated face. Issei. Okay, what did they do to my house? Well, he looked at the gigantic mansion. Rias. What, you don't like it? Issei. Isn't that it, looking at the girls with suitcases behind them, and why do you have suitcases? Asia. Issei-sen was going to be a surprise, but, Azara. Let's live with you from today, Oni-chan moved. Issei. What? Akeno. Ara Ice-kun isn't happy that we live with you. Making a sad face. Kaneko. Bad. Issei-kun also sad. The girls only made sad faces and we all already know Issei's weakness. Issei. It's not that, nervous, but when or how did they transform my house into a mansion? Rias. It was a gift from Auden-sama. Flash black. We can see Auden trying to give him a gift for his great help to Issei. Auden. I don't know, Ross-chan, he doesn't seem like the guy who would like to have a hex slave discarding a leaf that we could give him thinking. Roswis. How about something very special, like a mansion? Auden. It sounds good, but that's just something physical, I want to give him something he can't deny thinking, and a somewhat bad idea came to him. Hey Ross-chan, you didn't like him? The girl could only blush at such a question. Roswis. IIWYT that boy. Blushing. Well, I admit that he is handsome, a very good person, and was interrupted by Auden. Auden. Well, I know what I'm going to give him with a smile. Then flash black. Issei. I see, that explains why Roswis is here, looking at the albino Valkyrie behind Ria's blushing. Wait, then she. Roswis. Getting in front of Issei. It will be a pleasure to serve you. Issei-sama blushing and bowing. Rias. Yes, it seems he gave you this command and also Roswis as your servant and personal Valkyrie. Issei. Well, it doesn't matter, no interest in the maid thing, Roswis, you don't have to be so formal, just tell me. Issei looking at the white-haired girl. Roswis. WW. Well, Issei-kun completely blushing. Akeno. Ara, it seems that we will have a new companion with a smile and a new member in Ice-kun's harem. The girls only saw Issei with a dark aura and her brother and Kiba only laughed at Issei's luck. Rias. Well, how about we go in? All. Hi, Issei. This will be very hard for me, looking with a drop of sweat at the girls entering the mansion. You. Come on, brother, don't be like that, trying not to laugh, now you're going to be surrounded by beautiful girls and living under the same roof. Kiba. Yes, and it will only be forever, holding the charge he wanted to release. Issei. Pudrants, both of you entering the mansion. Inside the mansion, everyone was surprised by the immense entrance hall of the mansion, and Issei was just wondering why something so big and luxurious. Issei. It's very big, isn't it? Rias. For me it is perfect, although it is somewhat smaller than the one at my house. Issei. Yes, demons really like luxury, that's when Yui and Lin take their human form. Yui. Come on, love, she's very pretty looking at the mansion. Lin. How big, with star-shaped eyes like a girl? Rias. Well, each one choose a room. All. Hi. Rias. Ice, we all chose one for you with a nice smile. All the girls had a nice smile, but Issei was a little nervous about the room they all chose for him. Issei. Okay, somewhat suspicious. Issei could only walk in the direction of his room, and when he entered he knew that if he was in socks, his room was somewhat luxurious, but he had a great part in it that he loved. Issei. It can't be looking at a part of the room. In it there was a computer and giant gamer screens that Issei loved. Rias. We know that you like video games, and well, we asked for some modifications to Auden for you. Asia. We hope you like it, Issei-san with a smile. Azara. And waiting for a reward for being such good wives to you with a perverted smile. Issei only saw them, but his hair covered his eyes, and he approached the girls who were nervous about Issei's reaction, but he just kissed each of them, while they were surprised by Issei's reaction. Issei. Thank you very much girls with a smile that made each and every one of them blush. The girls could only appreciate the kiss that Issei gave them and his beautiful smile as they watched a boy start playing video games while Issei thought. Issei. Maybe living with them won't be so bad. Time skip. Issei. Okay, I take it back completely while sitting in an armchair in the living room. Issei was sitting while they watched the girls talk. Yui, Rias and Azara were fighting as always. Kaneko and Lin were eating sweets on their laps, and the others were just talking to Roswis to get to know her better, while Yu, Kiba and Gasper were just playing video games in the living room. Avoiding any possible chat with the girls. Issei. Girls, please calm down a little, you make a lot of noise, somewhat annoying. Aki. Don't worry, Ice-kun, we're just talking to Ross-chan, whispering, and tell us what part of Issei's body you like the most with a perverted smile. Roswis. I think the great character of her and see body of her blushing. Bakeno. Ara, just like us, if you saw Issei without a shirt you would surely get excited in second grade with a perverted smile and a blush. I have dreamed of playing with that great body of his. All the others only agreed because of what the sadist said. Rias. And we only discuss who you want more. Looking at Yui and Azara in a challenging way. He is already my husband, they can't beat me. Azara. He is my Oni-chan and as his older sister, I have the right to seduce him and have his children in the future. Yui. I'm sorry but he is my master, so if he wants to ride me, then I will let him without any excuse, and he and I are already destined to be together for all eternity. The three women just looked at each other and it seemed that sparks flew out when their gazes collided. Issei. Okay, I'm leaving, getting up and putting him down to play with the others. Time skip night. We can see our protagonist playing video games as usual while in his bed there was Yui and Lin signing a macabre plan. After a while Issei just turned off his console and got ready to sleep, but Sierra girls had no intention of sleeping much. While Issei was asleep both of them could only place a handcuff on his hands while he was restrained from the bed. Lemon skipped, please read it on website. Issei just ignored her and continued penetrating her until he finished in her again and only left two unconscious girls with a pleased face next to hers while he also fell into unconsciousness. The next day Issei woke up thinking that it had just been a bad dream, but she saw the girls' swords of her with a perverted smile while they were sleeping and she also saw how white liquid came out of her intimacies. Issei. Shit, it wasn't a dream seeing both girls and getting up without them waking up. Issei alone went down to the living room and saw everyone having breakfast, but they all saw Issei's face that showed confusion, satisfaction, and something relaxed. Rias. What's wrong? Issei. Nothing, Rias-chan nervous. Everyone was surprised by the suffix he used for Rias and she was just happy, but the boys looked at Issei's face and a certain dragon in the booster gear was laughing but didn't say anything because if his partner found out what Issei his brother would start a war in that house. You. Sure, you look a little more tired or dull, but a little more relaxed than normal. Everyone looked at Issei, but he just decided to make an excuse. Issei. Well, I just played until dawn, it's not that big of a deal. Roswis. You know, Ice-kun, it's not good for your body to stay up so late playing, he said innocently. Issei. Yes, I will try not to do it too often. After a while Yui and Lin came down, but saw how they both had a beautiful smile of satisfaction and limped a little. Yui. Good morning, happy. Lin. Good morning with the same smile. They both just hugged and kissed their masters with passion and love that made the others jealous. Azara. Hey, what do they think they do with a twitch in his eye? Yui. Nothing important, dragon, we are just happy that our master will accept us as women and future wives with an arrogant smile. Lin. In the future we will have master's children, smiling and hugging Issei. The others were somewhat confused by the little information that both gave them, but the men quickly understood since throughout the day, both girls were very affectionate towards Issei and more attached to him. Now we can see Issei sitting watching TV while the other men watched him. Yu. Hey brother, getting Issei's attention. Issei. Yes. Yu. Can I ask you a question? Issei. It depends on who it is looking at his brother. Yu. You and Yui and Lin. He couldn't finish because a tentacle made of shadows covered his mouth. Issei. I don't want you to say anything to the other girls, if you do we will all die, especially me, so you will keep quiet, yes. With a terrifying look, everyone else remained silent, but they knew that he was right. If the others found out that Issei had relations with both swords girls, a big war would be formed and they would not know how it would end in the end. Time skip. We can see our protagonist taking a bath in a gigantic hot spring bath with the other men. Issei. Damn, living together was a bad idea while taking a bath. Kiba. I think it was your fault since you had hex with Yui and Lin, if the others find out, somewhat nervous. Issei. Yes I know, the Third World War would start, you don't have to repeat it to me. Asper. So Issei-senpai had children with Yui and Lin? He asked innocently. Yu. Something like that, just don't tell nobody for everyone's sake. Asper. Hey. Yu. Well brother, you only have two options now. Issei. And those are they? Yu. take that secret to the grave or have hex with everyone so they don't get angry. Issei. Easy to say but not do sigh well, I guess I'll have to take the second one. Time skip. Issei can be seen on the roof of the mansion watching the stars to relax and think about her future with the girls. Issei. Damn, I think I'll really have to take the second option. Rias. Which second option? Issei was alerted upon hearing Ria's route, but he only diverted the topic. Issei. Nothing, but what are you doing here? Rias. I just came to think and see the stars, can I accompany you? Issei. Sure, no problem. They both sat down to watch the stars, but that night it was cold and Issei, seeing Rias shivering, could only hug her so that she wouldn't be cold. And she just snuggled into his chest. Rias. Hey Issei, getting the boy's attention. Issei. What's wrong? Rias. Do you love me? Issei. Well, nervous, but he saw the sad expression that the girl had when she saw the boy hesitate. Yes, I love you, and the others too, somewhat blushing when saying that word. Rias, seeing that small blush, knew that he was telling the truth and she was only happy for that, and she could only hug and kiss Issei because of the response she got. The kiss grew in intensity until Issei couldn't hold it any longer and took Rias in a nuptial manner and took the redeed to her room and gently laid her down in it and then continued kissing her. Lemon skipped, please read it on website. Both finally stopped and Rias was just on Issei's chest, totally tired, and Issei was also tired, but at one point he thought what he was doing with Rias, but it was too late to regret it and he just kissed his girlfriend and wife with love and they both just fell asleep, and Rias with a totally perverted but happy face. Part 13 Workday. Today we can see that it is a nice day in a huge mansion and we can see two girls swords looking with an aura of death at a certain albino sleeping with a redeed. Yui. Master, look, you had a lot of fun last night, looking coldly at Issei and an aura of death. Lin. Master, unfaithful, looking at Issei. We can see Issei sleeping between Ria's breasts while she caressed his head like a child, looking at him with a look full of love and a beautiful smile. Rias. What's up, girls? Looking at both girls, they don't see that I have a good time with my husband with an arrogant smile. Yui. You're great, but she was silenced by Lin, who covered her mouth. Lin. It doesn't matter. Yui, looking at Rias, since we took her virginity yesterday. Yui. You're right, looking mockingly at Rias, we did it with him and we took his first time. Rias. Maybe, but he got me pregnant first, since he came in me many times, looking mockingly at both of us, and I think I'm even already pregnant, touching his belly. Both girls just glared at Rias and just walked away, leaving them both lying together. Time skip. Issei was waking up little by little. Issei. Whoa, yawning, I slept well. But then she touched something really soft in her hands and started squeezing and moving it several times until she heard a small moan, and then she looked up and saw Rias with a smile. Rias. I'm glad I slept well there, honey, with a smile. Issei at that moment could only remember everything they both did yesterday and blush a little. Issei. So everything. Rias. Yes, everything was real, very real, looking at Issei with a smile. Issei just hid between the girl's breasts in embarrassment. Rias. What? Are you ashamed? Issei. A little hair. Rias. Rias. What happened to Rias-chan? Issei. I prefer to just call you Rias. Rias. Good, but now I'll call you darling happy. Issei. I prefer that you just call me Ice like you always do. Rias. Well, but what's wrong with you? In case you want to do it again with a perverted smile. Issei. No, I just wanted to ask you how low is the birth rate in the demons. Rias. Ooh, that, don't you want to be a father? Issei. It's not that, it's just that we are still very young and well, you have a great future ahead of you and I wouldn't like to take that away from you, somewhat saddened. Rias at that moment just wanted to throw herself at Issei and gape him over and over again because of how cute he looked when he cared about her. Rias. Don't worry, the rate is 0.1% at least on these dates, but you are an angel and a demon, so I have no idea what happened, said innocently. Issei. That doesn't calm me down, somewhat nervous because of what he said. Well, it doesn't matter getting up if you get pregnant, I guess I'll have to take responsibility. Rias. Really? Issei. Of course I'm not going to let you raise a child alone, with a smile, and he's my son too, so I can't abandon him, and well no, I wouldn't mind having a child or two with you, somewhat embarrassed. Rias upon hearing that just threw herself into Issei's arms happily and saying things like, we should choose a name for our child, among other things. Time skip. The day was a boring day. Issei and the girls were at school and Issei, like him, is always totally bored while they were teaching. Time skip. After a while the bell rang to start the break and Issei alone went to his favorite room to play to distract himself for a while. Issei just sat down at the piano and started playing. Issei only played the melody with a smile on his face and several who passed by only saw that smile on his face and that made some girls blush. At one point Issei could see Sona and his entire group standing at the door, but Issei only knocked, releasing his emotions and relaxing. Issei's voice made those present happy and the girls from the student council could only blush. When Issei finished playing he still had that smile on his face and the Citri group only entered with a somewhat annoyed Saji. Issei. Hello president, what's wrong? Sona. Hello hyoudou-kun, we just came to ask you a favor somewhat nervous. Issei. And that's it. Tsubaki. We want you to help us with some things at the council it would be but looking at Issei with a small blush. Issei. And how can I help you? Sona. We want you to help us since as we see you are one of the most intelligent in the entire school, showing a sheet with Issei's exam grades, and since this date is a lot of exams I have to file them all after the teachers give me a copy of the students' notes. Sigh, I know it's a pain, but can you help me? Issei. Well, you let me keep the music room so it's a good way to thank you president with a smile. Sona only blushed because of Issei's smile and kindness, but more than one girl in the group was Iso, making Saji jealous. Time skip. We can see an Issei with a pile of papers on Sona's desk which reached to the ceiling of the room. Issei. Damn, looking at the huge pile of papers, this is really your work, it seems like complete garbage. Sona. It's a small payment for the responsibility I have. Issei. You are very responsible and good looking at Sona. Rias once told me that you wanted to make a school for all supernatural races, is that true? Sona. Yes, my dream is to make a school where demons, fallen angels, and other races can study in peace with a smile. Issei just smiled at Sona, and when she saw that smile she only blushed for getting carried away. Sona. Well, why me and Tsubaki have to bring more, so we'll leave you, if you have any questions just ask the others. Saying that, they both left and the others who were left there only stared at Issei, but then they introduced themselves. Hello, I'm Tomo Meguri cheerful. Why Yosu Momo Hanakai somewhat nervous. Hello, I'm Binia and just so you know, I'm a Grim Reaper happy. Hello, I'm Ryakusaka cheerful. And I am Haruka Nomura cheerful. Saji. And I'm Saji, you already know me while writing something on a blackboard. Issei. What does he do? Tomo. Just make a plan to conquer Asia with a bead of sweat on the back of your neck, just ignore it. Issei was a little bothered by what he was doing, but he knew that no matter how hard he tried he wouldn't make it, since Asia was his. But he saw the other girls a little depressed when they saw Saji do that, and he knew right away what was happening to them. Saji. I already have it holding a leaf, sorry girls, I'm flying leaving the council room. Everything was silent until Issei spoke. Issei. Tell me, do you like Saji? They all stayed silent and looked away, but that was enough for Issei. Issei. You know, if that idiot doesn't realize his feelings then he doesn't deserve them. That surprised everyone, and then they looked at Issei who only had a smile. Issei. If he doesn't see your feelings then he doesn't deserve you, when Asia rejects him she will surely realize her feelings for him, and he will only degrade you as a kind of second course, and you don't deserve that, she said with a smile that made them blush. Everyone look for someone who really loves you. Those words moved the girls, but they all knew that the albino was right. Issei. But well, looking at the pile of papers, it's time to start. Issei only found several shadow clones and began to do the paperwork quickly and even helped some of the council, and they for some reason felt protected by being with Issei. Issei was just finishing the first stack of papers next to her clones, but he saw how some books fell on Momo while they were carrying some boxes, and he just moved quickly covering Momo, hugging her, and the books fell on her head. Issei. Oh, rubbing head, that hurt, are you okay Hanakai-san? The albino only saw Issei's worried eyes and she only blushed when she noticed that he was hugging her, and she only responded. Momo. Why yes, calm down, I'm fine blushing, but call me Momo, I don't like being called by my last name. Issei. Well, okay Momo-san with a smile that made her blush. Issei just let her go and received the books that fell away, but Momo had a big blush and for some reason she touched her chest feeling her heartbeat. Momo. What's wrong with me? When he saved me I felt protected, loved Aya, what's wrong with me? The others only saw that scene and for some reason they became a little jealous. After a while Sona and Tsubaki saw how Issei, with the help of her clones, had finished quickly and they only gave him 4 more batteries, which the boy didn't care about since he only created more clones and he got to work quickly. Time skip. After an hour Issei had finished and left the rest to Sona. Sona. Hyoudou-san, I still think there are a few more stacks of papers missing, can you and Tomo bring the rest? Both. Hi, Issei. But just tell me Issei or Ice, I don't like being called a lot by that last name. Sona understood and just did what she asked with a blush. Sona. Okay, Issei-kun blushing. Issei. Okay Sona-san with a smile, well we're leaving with Tomo. Sona was slightly blushing as she was seen by her entourage. But Issei and Tomo, both of them only left a room with both stacks of papers in their hands. For Tomo it was very heavy, but for Issei it was nothing out of this world, thanks to their training. Issei realized that he was too heavy for the girl and only took half of her papers to help her. Tomo. I-san, I can handle, she was interrupted. Issei. We both know that no, looking at the girl with a smile, don't try so hard, you could hurt yourself, right? The girl blushed and just nodded and then followed her path. They were both walking, but when going down the stairs Tomo tripped and fell, but Issei quickly let go of her papers and held her in a hug to protect her from her fall. Issei. Damn, there were already 2 in one day. Rubbing his head. Are you okay, Tomo-san? When the girl opened her eyes, she could only feel the warmth of Issei's body and see that she was lying on her chest. She just stood up quickly with a huge blush and answered her question. Tomo. Why yes gee thank you Issei-san with a blush. Issei. Don't worry, I'm glad you're okay. Looking at the girl. Well, we have to pick up the papers. Looking at the pile of papers on the floor around her. Tomo. Yes. Tomo, still blushing, picked up the pile of papers, but in a moment they both took a paper and when they looked up they collided and Tomo only blushed when she saw Issei's eyes directly. After a while they both just continued on their way, but Tomo only thought about what had just happened a few minutes ago. Tomo. What the hell happened there? When he hugged me I felt protected, loved, I liked it. Aya, what the hell is wrong with me? Do I like Issei-san? After a while they both arrived at the room again, but everyone saw Tomo with that blush and all the girls present suspected what happened. Time skip. We can see Issei lying on the grass of the academy sleeping as usual, but a strange crowd woke him up from his dreams and Issei out of curiosity just went to see what it was and was surprised to see a boy proposing to Rias. Extra. Please go out with me, Rias Onasama bowing. Everyone already knew the result, but what their one Sama told them surprised them all. Rias. I'm sorry, but I'm already engaged. Blushing, and in the future I will have Ice's children. Moving in a strange way and touching her belly with a smile. I can't wait for that to happen. Everyone was surprised and the men only saw Issei with a look that showed that they wanted to kill and gut him. Issei. Rias, please don't cause misunderstandings. Trying to save the situation. Rias. There is no misunderstanding. Looking at Issei, when a man takes a woman's first time they are basically making their vows for marriage with a smile and I am still waiting for my ring. Ice. For everyone it was the last straw. Not only does he have all the most beautiful girls just for him, but he also took away the innocence of the most beautiful girl in the academy. Time skip. We can see Issei hiding in the men's occult club of the entire school since they wanted to kill him and they even made a doll and burned it in the middle of the entrance to the entire academy. Issei luckily managed to escape and the girls from his other harem didn't find out what Issei did with Rias, but he knew that wouldn't last forever. Issei. Damn, I'll have to change schools now. Lying on one of the club's couches. Bizarre. No, it's not necessary. Issei just turned nervously and looked at his older sister behind him. It's not necessary because I will kill you, Oni-chan, with a terrifying aura. Issei. What are you saying, sister? Nervous? You saw it all, right? Bizarre. So you slept with Butchu? Well, I'll have to punish you, Oni-chan. While he was making out with Issei. Issei. Damn, what do I do? Yui and Lin didn't come today because they were upset with me. What do I do? Issei at that moment could only remember his brother's words. Flashback. You. Well, you have 2 options, take the secret to the grave or sleep with everyone so they don't get angry. Then flashback. Issei. Damn, I hope this move didn't fail me. Issei just stood up quickly and grabbed Azara's shoulders, surprising hers. Azara. Oni-chan. Issei could only kiss Azara with a loving and passionate signature that surprised Issei. Azara. What's happening? He's kissing me, he feels good. Azara only hugged her Oni-chan, while she continued the kisses that Issei gave her, but when he separated from her Issei could see her heart-shaped eyes and she also had slit pupils like a dragon. Greg. It was a good move, boy, but you forgot the dragon instincts that Azara has. How do you manage it now? Hahaha. Issei forgot that Azara was a dragon and now he was letting those instincts take over. Lemon skipped. Please read it on website. In the end, both of them came at the same time and Issei only fell asleep from exhaustion and Azara only caressed her sleeping brother's head. Azara. Gigi, if you're pregnant, you'll have to take responsibility. Oni-chan kissing her brother's head and also falling asleep. Part 14. Enmity. We can see a blue-haired girl entering with about 2 boys into a huge tree that apparently had a burrow underneath that illuminated the outside. Yumi-san, are you sure about this? Wouldn't it be better to leave things as they are? Yumi. No, Jason, the truth is that he probably won't forgive me if I keep a secret, or maybe he'll kill me. Upon entering the burrow it takes on a more homely shape like a cabin in the woods. Ara, it was time for you to arrive, Yumi-chan said a figure with blue hair who apparently was cooking in a cauldron, although I think they took too long to look for some dragon apples. Tell me, that old man of Tannen caused you problems. Yumi. No, the truth is that I took a small reconnaissance task. It would be. I don't remember ordering that, Yumi-chan, he said without stopping cooking. Yumi. Well, the truth is that Jason. We found the Sekiryuite. The woman just stopped preparing the food and only saw her subjects. What did they find out? I would be. Jason. Her carrier is called Azara hyoudou. She is stronger than she looks, but she is not the one we are worried about. Serious. And that would be. Yumi. He has a younger brother, his name is Issei hyoudou, or as the supernatural world knows him, the Shinigami or the new god of the world. That boy is a god, right? Jason. Yes, yes he is, he defeated Loki and sealed him without using all of his power, even the ancient gods have respect for the boy looking like this he loves. Yumi. What will Tiamat-sama do? Tiamat. Well I still have some things to settle with Drake with a smile, but if I find that boy and he gets in my way I'll kill him. Change of scene. The days passed quietly, Issei spent time with his girls at all times, but while he was calm, rumors about how powerful he was had spread throughout the supernatural world, in which some had respect for the boy and others were afraid. Issei just went about his daily life as before, although now it was a little more interesting, since some men only looked at Issei with a bad face, since the rumors that he slept with his one Samarias spread throughout the school, but for some reason only the men knew it, the women just ignored those rumors. He also spent his time helping Sona and the council members a little more by getting more attached to them. Now we can see our protagonist walking on the way to school without noticing that a figure was hanging around the neighborhood. Meanwhile Issei was only talking to his brother, Kiba and Gasper, about the trip they would take to Tokyo. Issei. Is it true that we will take a trip to Tokyo? Yu. Yes we will do it very soon, it will be fun, somewhat excited. Kiba. Yes, but you have to be careful not to do something crazy, since that is the territory of the Yakeis. Issei. Yakeisi. Thinking. Yu. What's wrong? Looking like this thoughtful brother. Issei. It's nothing, I just guess it will be interesting to see a real yakai. After that talk the boys and girls only went to their classrooms, the girls around them only talked about the trip they were going to take. But a certain duo of perverts were trying to join together, but she only quickly repelled them. Time skip occult club. Now few see the girls from the occult club jealous, since they received an unexpected visit from Ravel Phoenix, and she only spoke to Issei with a blush. Issei. Yes well, I'm very happy to see you again Ravel and thanks for the cake, I would like to try one just like it. Ravel. B. But what things does he say blushing BW well maybe I'll make him another dessert in the future blushing like a tomato. Rias. Ravel, what are you doing here? Jealous and with a twitch in her eye. Ravel. Well I wanted to ask you a favor. Azara. Please. Ravel. You see my brother's mental condition has deteriorated a lot in recent days, something sad he has not left his room, he does not even live with his maids, and he has also developed a certain fear of looking at Issei. Issei. Fear of me? Ravel. Apparently he can't even hear your name without being terrified. I know what my brother did in the past, but I ask you to please help him bowing, and maybe it will cheer him up a little to see Rias-sama. Rias? And why do you think the travel? Ravel. Well I think he still has feelings for her Rias-sama, and maybe seeing her will cheer him up, and seeing Issei-san can help him with his fear of her. Rias. You flatter me Ravel, but I can't she was interrupted by Issei. Issei. Don't worry, Ravel, we will help you with your stupid brother's problems. Rias. Ice, would you really help him surprised? Issei. Yes but not for hers, I will do it for her stroking Ravel's head you are a good sister Ravel, the idiot Razor should appreciate that. Ravel only blushed but accepted Issei's caress with pleasure, while the other girls around them only watched them jealous. Azara. But why will you help him? Oni-chan, he almost killed us and forcibly married Butchu looking at his brother. Issei. We have to learn to leave the past behind and learn to forgive girls as he said that a light covered Issei, and they all cried comically when they saw an angel in front of them. Arena. It's beautiful crying. Asia. Issei-san he is an angel. Issei. Besides, if he tries to do something bad, I'll just break him in half with Yui and Lin she said simply. When he said that the light disappeared and everyone understood why it is so calm while the boys just laughed at the girls' faces. Kiba. You're going to go to the Phoenix house to help Razor with the trauma that one of you caused, if that's not strange. Time skip underworld. We can see our protagonist accompanied by Rias and Ravel in the Phoenix mansion while they were looking for Razor's room. Rias. Ice, are you sure about this? Issei. Yes, I also want to finish this as quickly as possible so I can go safely on my trip to Tokyo. Ravel. As I expected from you, Issei-sama. As they passed they met Razor's maids, some of them looked at Rias with hatred, but they all looked at Issei with a smile and a blush, and he only took that as a simple homely kindness. After a few seconds they had reached Rubio's room, and Ravel just opened the door. Ravel. Ani-sama you have some visitors. Razor. I'm not in the mood now Ravel all depressed tell them to go away. Ravel. It's Rias-sama letting Rias see. Rias. Hello Razor greeting the blonde. Razor. R laughs the blonde only saw Rias surprised and with some lust what are you doing here? Rias. Your sister asked me to come it would still be. Razor only got a little closer to Rias with a blush and a lustful look but he was stopped by a voice that scared him. Issei. Whatever you're thinking of doing, I recommend that you don't do it. Razor, seeing Issei, just turned pale and just hid under his bed, scared of him. Razor. What's he doing here scared? Issei. I come to help you with your stupid fear that you will develop for me looking at Razor. Razor. Don't go away scared. Issei. You're just a chicken, grabbing his leg and forcibly pulling him out from under the bed. I'll do it by hook or by crook. When he took Razor out from under the bed, he only punched him in the stomach, which calmed him down, and he began to drag Razor throughout the mansion. Razor. No, please help me. Razor yelled at his maids, but they just ignored him and only saw Issei with a blush, and he just greeted them kindly. Rias. I know, what are you going to do? Issei. I'll take him to a friend. Time skip. Tannen. Hello boy. How she stopped when she saw Razor being dragged by Issei. Is that not the Phoenix heir? Issei. Yes, apparently I traumatized him and I want you to help him. Looking at the dragon. Tannen. And how can I help you? Issei. I want you to train him for something. Issei just took Razor and threw him at the dragon while he was still scared. Issei. Razor, I propose something to you. Looking at the blonde. If you overcome your fears and become strong, we will have a battle, and the one who won will obey the other. What do you think? Hearing that, Razor got a little excited and then spoke. Razor. Is that true? Issei. As I said, the one who won can ask the other person anything, and he will have to obey without any complaints. Razor, upon hearing that, just smiled and addressed the dragon. Razor. Well, I hope that when I beat you, you don't regret what you said. Looking at Tannen. We're leaving, dragon. They both left and left Rias, Ravel and Issei alone. Rias. Are you sure, Ice? If he wins, who knows the kind of things he will ask of you? Issei. Don't worry. Rias, kissing him on the forehead. The only people who could defeat me are already dead, but hey, I will also train so as not to be left doing nothing. Time skip 1 week. This week Issei trained his control of light, darkness and his new weapon Blue Rose, and the last one surprised Ravel, since he could help Thor's rays with great ease. Now we can see Issei dressed elegantly next to Ravel having a cup of tea while they both ate a cake. Issei. And well, Ravel, because you care so much about that idiot Razor eating a piece of cake, he doesn't seem like a good brother for you to care so much about. Ravel. Well, before he was looking at Issei, before that obsession with Rias, he was a good person. He was kind, although a little angry, and although he was somewhat perverted, he respected the maids and loved me a lot. Issei. I understand. Well, love changes people, I guess. While continuing to eat, Issei and Ravel were just eating and talking, but Issei saw how Ravel was shaking a little, and Issei, like a gentleman, gave him his jacket so that he could cover himself and not be so cold. Ravel. Thank you, Issei. Sama, blushing. Issei. You can remove the Sama. I am not an old man for you to call me that, just call me Issei, he said with a smile. She just blushed and accepted Issei's kindness, and they just had a nice evening. Time skip. Now models see Razor somewhat more muscular while he smiled arrogantly looking at Issei. Razor. Well, you don't know what I've done to become stronger. I defeated dragons with my hands and even carried rocks to the top of a mountain on foot. Looking at Issei. Today I will defeat you. Issei. Let's see what you have, Phoenix. Time skip. We can see Razor crying on the ground with some swords of light stuck in his, but they were disappearing little by little while he regenerates. Issei. Well, Razor, as we said, you have to obey my request. Looking at the blonde. Razor. Okay, sniff sniff, please don't torture me so much. Accepting his fate. Issei. Good, now I want you to be like before you met Rias. That surprised everyone and Razor even more. Razor. What? Issei. Since you heard it, what I want you to do is be the Razor that Ravel told me about. That only surprised Ravel, but he at the same time made her blush. Issei. I want you to go back to being that Razor who was a good brother, the Razor who respected women, and the Razor who does have the right to call himself a phoenix. That only surprised the blonde, but then he saw Ravel that he had a smile upon hearing Issei's words. Razor. Well, a deal is a deal. Standing up and walking towards Ravel. Forgive me, Ravel, I know I've been an idiot, and well, you forgive me. Looking at his sister. She just smiled and hugged her brother, and Rias and Issei just smiled when they saw that scene. Ravel. Of course, brother hugging Razor. When she separated from Ravel, she only went to where Rias is and bowed, surprising the Redeed. Razor. I know he's been an idiot, but please forgive me. Rias Sama, surprising the girl. The Redeed just smiled and then spoke. Rias. Good, calm down, as long as you've learned from your mistakes, it's okay, just don't do it again. With a smile. Razor. Hi. Razor just smiled and went home with his brother, but not before saying a word to Issei. Razor. Someday I will become stronger and defeat you. Issei hyoudou, looking at Issei with a smile. Issei. I'll be waiting for that day, Phoenix. They both just said goodbye, and Ravel kissed Issei on the cheek out of gratitude for returning his brother. Time skip. Human world. The days passed, but today was different since a new student arrived at school. The men expected her to be a pretty girl, and the Magedia only thought of a new friend. Teacher. Well, everyone, Tarquilin, since today we have a new student. Everything calmed down, but the kids were excited. Well, you can come in now. Saying that, a blonde girl walked through the door, surprising all the boys, but more so part of the Grimoire group. And Issei. Ravel. Nice to meet you, I'm Ravel Phoenix, it's a pleasure to meet you. I was happy. All the men praised the pretty girl they saw, but that ended quickly when Ravel greeted Issei. Ravel. Hello Issei-kun waving shyly and blushing. Everyone saw at that moment that Issei was a little nervous because of the men's gaze. Issei. Hello Ravel nervous. Teacher. Well it seems that you already know someone at school, he made me happy seeing the girl. Well you can sit down now. Ravel just followed what he said and sat next to Issei. Well she looked at him with a blush noticeable to everyone. Time skip lunch. Everyone was eating, but a certain blonde girl was being questioned by the other girls from the occult club. Rias. Well Ravel looking at the girl, what are you doing here? Ravel. Well I came because I wanted to be with Issei-kun blushing, and I also wanted to know what human life was like, so I signed up here with a smile. All the girls began to look at the blonde with a bad face, but Issei calmed them down. Rias. Damn Issei looking at Issei, could you stop trying to seduce all the girls in the world? Issei. But I haven't done anything. Confused. Ravel. Issei-kun is right, he didn't try to court me even once, he conquered me with his kindness and his character, and also with a good person he is blushing. Azara. So you like him? Ravel. Yes I like it. Whispering. Arena. We don't listen to you. Ravel. Yes I like Issei and I want to be with him always. The entire cafeteria heard Ravel scream, and the men only attacked Issei for having the new and pretty girl in love as soon as he entered the academy. Extra. Damn hyoudou, I will kill you. The XTRA2. We are going to kill you. The XTRA3. Unfortunate, isn't it enough for you to already have the one Samus? Issei was held down to be beaten, but he knocked out most of them with his strength, and the others were stopped by Yu and Kiba. Issei. Thank you guys looking at her brother and Kiba. Yu. It's okay, but if you keep going like this, they'll really kill you looking at the enormous amount of boys knocked out by the three. Kiba. I think you'll have to stay away from women from today onwards, Issei. Issei. This is not my fault, it just happened. Time skip. Issei spent the days calmer although somewhat more interesting with the arrival of Ravel, and now he is in the club sleeping, while the girls ogled him with their eyes, but an upset Sona opened the door along with his entire entourage. Sona. It's an emergency. That woke up Issei and upset everyone. Rias. What's up Sona? It would be. Sona. We have information about an entity that has been moving around the city. Issei. An entity? Sona. Specifically a dragon it would be. Greg. No, Azara, we have to escape now. Azara. And why? Greg. I was hoping she would find us, but not so soon, you are still not strong enough to face her, not her. Issei. Wow, if Drake is upset he has to be strong. Rias. Who is Office? Sona. It's not someone worse. Greg. Is the dragon of karma and chaos Tiamat. And another side, we can see on the outskirts of the city a blue-haired girl with a spear and with two people. Yumi. According to the information, Tiamat Sama lives here, said a beautiful girl with blue hair. Tiamat. I know smelling, I can smell and feel his presence and his aura smiling, I will soon have my revenge. Let me know in the comments below if you guys want the next part. Also check out my other video that has been shown and left. Thank you for watching, if you enjoyed this video please like and share this video. And have a fantastic day. Bye.